fourth dimension.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Triumph over Lockdown, where we're working on our mental fitness using mindful exercises, self-compassion and compassion to others. And so I'm hoping you're enjoying the series and that you're getting ready for today's session of a little bit of breathing and mindful exercise. Breathing is really going to be central to our session today, so hopefully you'll join me in that. And if you're just coming in now, I'm just waiting for some few people to join. Tell me where you're coming in from, who you are, and what you're looking for, what usefulness this can be for you. Talking about mindful fitness, mindful exercises, developing self-compassion and compassion for others, and that's what makes our lives better. It also helps create a more nurturing society. And it's really important because a lot of us, you tell me if this is something that you recognize in you, is that we want to do something, but sometimes things are holding us back. There's a certain fear that we have of doing things that are important to us. And that fear can, express itself in lots of different ways. We feel like we've got a kind of a block. We don't know, a paralysis of some sort. We just can't. We know what we want to do. We just can't get going. And sometimes what holds us back is our thoughts telling us, are you mad? Do you seriously think you can do that? Do you seriously think you're good enough for doing that? And so on, all these kind of self-critical, self-bashing thoughts that come in. So if you recognize any of these thoughts, then maybe share it with us or send in the comments. And sometimes, we're okay with our thoughts, we're okay with but our emotions, we get this sense of fear that really kind of sets in, or we feel this overwhelming anxiety that we want to do something that's important. We really know what we want to do. We've got a kind of clear vision, more or less. But we feel it in our bodies, that anxiety, the body sensations are so rough, they're so tough, that it's much easier for us just to back down from our vision, from what we want to do with our lives, just to get rid of that horrible anxious feeling that sometimes we get in our bodies. And then, if we're really unlucky, we're going to get a whole bunch of them. And that's what usually happens. We're going to get the anxious feelings in our bodies. We're going to get emotions battling away. And we're going to get our thoughts also coming in and adding their 2 bits. And this whole recipe together is what really holds us back a lot of the time from doing things that we want to do, doing things that we need to do, doing things that are important for us to bring meaning and purpose into our lives. And, that is what we're going to be addressing today as well. So, hi, whoever's put the message in, that's great. Put your name in, tell me where you're coming from, why you've joined us today. Is this the first time you've been on this Triumph Over Lockdown program, or are you a regular viewer? Give me a bit of an idea of who you are, and let's have a bit of interaction. That's what really makes this program rich. One of the ways that we can tackle that kind of paralysis, that kind of these thoughts and things that come in, well, every day we're doing a mindful session, and that is what brings us into connection with ourselves. Now, I never used to be like this, so don't think I'll be born doing this. I wasn't. I've learned this. I've had mentors who teach me. I learn every day. And I practice every day. And that is what is really important. I've been doing this practice now for about 10 years, basically on a daily basis, having a regular routine, doing my breathing exercises 3 or 4 times a day, sometimes even more, and doing these mindful exercises, getting myself connected with that inner self, and that's what I want to teach you. That's what I want to pass on. And so today we're going to get into contact more with our breathing, because as I call it, the rhythm of life. It is the rhythm of life, and sometimes our breathing, we breathe in and we breathe out. And it can even be a metaphor. So when we're breathing in, our blood pressure goes up, our heart rate goes up, our stress levels in our body goes up. When we breathe out, heart level goes down, blood pressure goes down, and the sense of tension and stress in our body goes down. Now, what does that teach us? It teaches us that the rhythm of life is having a sense of stress, having a sense of relaxation, having a sense of tension, having a sense of release of that tension. All right? So that is the rhythm of life. There are peaks and there's troughs. There's peaks and there's troughs. Now, if you take away the peaks and you take away the troughs, you're going to have flat line. All right? So the rhythm of life is that we need these peaks and we need the troughs. All right? Sometimes we go along a bit like this, it goes up, goes along a bit like this, goes down. That is the rhythm of life. When we can get connected to that rhythm of life and surf those waves, right? We learn to surf those waves. The troughs, unfortunately, don't feel that good. They're quite uncomfortable and can even be quite painful, right? So, but as I've just explained, they're really important in our life, right? So we've got to learn to be able to withstand, to be willing to experience those troughs, and then we're going to gain from the peaks, and then we go back down again. So this up and down roller coaster kind of rhythm is the rhythm of life, right? Some days the weather is really cloudy and rainy and frosty. Sometimes the sun comes out. Rainy and frosty again, sun comes out. The whole wind system in our weather system is again peaks and troughs, vacuums and being filled up with air. That's how the world works. All right. So we have to learn that as well, because our emotions are on an up and down basis. Our thoughts are going up and down. Our body sensations are going up and down. Sometimes we have pleasurable experiences in our body, and sometimes we have unpleasurable, uncomfortable feelings in our body. So let's get straight to part one, where we can get into our breathing and our mindful exercise. Okay, so sitting comfortably, feet flat on the floor. If you can have bare feet, then even better, but not necessary. Hands on your lap or on the sides of your chairs, basically in a loose, comfortable position. I'm warning you now, if you're driving a car or operating heavy machinery or doing something that needs all of your attention, then stop this now and come back to it later in the replay. Sitting comfortably, back straight. Sit as if the world was yours. Sit if you were a whole person. Sit as if the world you woke up and today is just the way you want it to be. You might have to use a little bit of imagination, depending on your circumstances, but develop that inner smile, develop that situation where, using your imagination, in your mind's eye, the world is just a wonderful place. And that's just to get you into that good posture, because our mind and our posture are really connected with each other. So get yourself into a healthy, good, flexible, not too rigid posture. When we breathe in, we push our tummies out. When we breathe out, we push our tummies in. When we breathe in for a count of 3, hold it for a count of 2, and breathe out through our mouths for a count of 5. When we breathe in, our tummies out, breathing in deeply now, in. Hold, and out. Pursed lips as we blow out, creating a little bit of back pressure, as if we're blowing out a candle. Second round, the breathing in. Holding it and breathing out through your mouth slowly. Letting go. Halfway there, breathing in. Holding it. That's it. And out slowly. Wonderful. One more time. Breathing in. Holding it. And breathing out slowly. Wonderful. Excellent. Really, really good stuff. Hi, Tanya. Great to have you here. Wonderful. Okay, now, what I'm going to ask you to do is to keep sitting comfortably. I'm sorry to hear you've had a bad week, Tanya. Oh, muscle slip. Oh, I know what that's like. Oh, my goodness, that is so painful. So let's talk about that in the part 2. This hopefully will help you with this. So sitting comfortably, feet on the floor. I'm going to ask you in a minute to either close your eyes if you want, or you can just lower your head and kind of pick a spot on the floor. Just find a way to get comfortable. Okay? So I invite you now to close your eyes, or just lower your head and pick a spot on the floor. Just normal breathing. I invite you to notice the rise and fall of your body as you breathe. Just follow that rhythm of life, your personal, unique rhythm. Just noticing that now. No need to do anything. Just letting go as you do this. Starting to feel the weighty feeling of your body. You might notice the point of contact of your feet on the floor. And the hands and the arms resting on your lap or the side of your chair, or wherever they are. And breathe. Not forcing your breathing in any way. I invite you to pay attention to any sounds that you may hear. Just bringing your mind into your physical senses, using your ears. And just settling back and feeling comfortable in the space around you. Maybe you hear bells ringing. Just notice it. And just bringing your attention a little bit more towards your body as you scan down from head through your body to your feet. And just paying attention to any areas that feel particularly comfortable or uncomfortable in your body. Maybe you feel a difference in temperature. So just building up a picture of how your body feels at this very moment. Not fighting it, not numbing it out, not running away from it, just noticing what's going on in your body right now. And then shifting your attention to notice if there are any particular mood that might be around at the moment. And now gently shift your focus to the rise and fall of your breath. Just notice your breath and the rise and fall of your body. When we shift our attention from different aspects of our life, this is a very healthy exercise. And you will be feeling more comfortable with the rise and fall and the natural rhythm of your breath now. I'd like you to use your imagination to imagine now a steady flow from above your head, almost like a liquid sunlight. It's very smooth, very warm, it's very clear, it's very bright. It's almost like taking a mental shower. It flows down through the top of the head, into your body, and travels all the way down, down, down. And it's going to fill up your body as though it were a container. This liquid sunlight just melting away any tension and any discomfort. Just bringing your attention now to follow it as it travels down through your body, sliding down towards your feet. Notice you're just feeling it as it fills up your toes one at a time. And just mentally acknowledge each toe as it goes through. And it starts to travel up through your feet, through your heels, your ankles, and continues upwards towards your knees. You might notice any tension in your legs as it goes, and it just helps you with your willingness to accept that for what it is, with no judgment whatsoever. That's just the way you are right now, and that's okay. And just focusing on the spaciousness, the brightness, and the warmth as it continues up to the upper half of your legs towards your hips and your pelvic area. Continuing upwards to your belly area, mid-body. Just going into all the tension and stress in your body and your emotions. Just helping you be willing to surf that for what it is right now. Melting away any struggle that you may have with your emotions and your thoughts and your body sensations. And as it continues to flow upwards through your chest area and upper back, all the way to your shoulders. And it continues to flow down both of the arms and towards your elbows and your hands, and filling up each finger one at a time. Your hands and your wrists. Allow it to be. Letting go as it fills upwards towards your elbows and shoulders again. Just attending to all that stress and tension in your body. As it travels up now through your neck and your throat area up to your head. All the muscles in and around your face until it gets to the very top of your body. Just being with yourself, allowing it to all happen, and be willing to experience it no matter how uncomfortable it may be. Knowing that your entire body now is full of that very spacious, clear feeling. It continues to flow downwards again. Just rest your mind now in that wonderful space that you have created. And just let go of any struggle that you have for a moment. And allow your mind just to rest in that space. Now just bringing your attention back to your body again. As you start to feel the weight of your body once more. The physical points of contact of your feet on the ground and your arms and your hands on your lap or chair. You start to notice the sounds around you again. The smells. And just bringing yourself back to the space that you're in. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. Oh, wow. Whew. That was amazing. Fantastic. So great to have Tanya in, Jack's in the house. We've got Herbert here. So wonderful that you're all coming in. And part 2, let's have a little talk and tell us exactly what that experience was like for you. I'm glad it's helping you, Tanya, with dealing with your angriness and your, yeah, I can understand that. Let's get all this out. Let's have a little bit of letting go of that struggle. You know, we have a struggle in our life. Let's talk about this in part 2, just as, oh, wonderful, Tanya. Amazing that you felt it leaving your body. Well, wonderful. Look, it's something that we have to deal with. It's part of our emotional roller coaster that we're all on. And what we found is that the more that we come into contact with it, the less it bothers with us. If we are ignoring it, if we're fighting with it, if we're struggling with it, that's when it starts to make more of a noise. So if we want less noise from our emotions, less kind of bothering us and telling us what to do and bullying us and really becoming overwhelming, then we have to lean into them a little bit and give them the respect. Our emotions need respect. Our emotions have intelligence. Our emotions are a signaling system to us. So understand that it's a message that it's trying to give us. And be willing to accept that message. Be willing to experience it. And then we move on with what's important with our life. So wonderful, Tanya. I'm really happy that it's beginning to work for you and becoming useful. So I'm just going to show you a little bit about our charity. and then we can get back and have a little talk if you want in part 2. In the meantime, I'm going to make myself some ketones to drink. Enjoy this about our charity.
Christian Wakefoot.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I join with members from across the House in sending my deepest of condolences to each and every one of the individuals who's tragically passed away as a result of COVID. However, during this extremely difficult time, I have nothing but admiration for the army of volunteers working tirelessly in my constituency and across the country. Will the Prime Minister join me in thanking organisations like the Fed, Jewish Volunteering Network, Heads Up and Porch Boxers, along with all those who've done so much to protect the vulnerable and the needy in Prestwich, Radcliffe and Whitefield?
Mr. Speaker, I will indeed join my honourable friend in paying tribute to those volunteers in his constituency. They join a huge constellation of shining points of light across our country. It's been one of the most extraordinary things, one of the consolations, one of the few consolations of this crisis has been the upsurge, Madam Deputy Speaker, there has been in volunteering.
Okay, welcome back to part 2, where we can have a little talk and see exactly who's looking in, who's listening in, and how this is helping you. Great, thanks for the hearts, Karen. If you can send more hearts, everybody, that would be wonderful. Anything that you can do to help share this out. Joyce is coming in saying that my voice is very soothing. Well, thank you, Joyce. Appreciate that, and hopefully it's helpful to you. That's what it's about. Thanks very much for everyone who's sending hearts and sharing this out to your groups and tagging friends in the comments. The more that we can get this out to people, the more people will benefit from it. And it's really, really something that we need right now. Please tell me how this is helping you, if it's helping you, and how it's useful for you, and what else you would like to see on this Triumph Over Lockdown show. Thanks, Tanya. Brilliant, amazing. You cheer me up for the day also. Wonderful, Tanya, that you've shared. The more that we can share this out, the more that we can all do our little bit for creating a more nurturing society. Please let me know what else you would like to see on this show. I come in every day at 1 o'clock live. If there's anything that you want in addition to the breathing exercises and the mindful exercises, then I'm willing to serve you in the best way I can with my education and the mentorship that I've received and the wisdom that I've created over the years out of my experience. I want to pass it on to you, and so that you can pass that on to others. That's what it's all about. It's about passing it forward. It's about helping each other, peer-to-peer, and also growing a nurturing society. And the more that we can do that, it's more and more important than ever now for us to be able to do that, for us to teach our family, teach our children, and get this out as wide as possible. This is really scientific-based stuff. It's not just woo-woo stuff that just for entertainment. This can really help. And the more that we can get this message out, the better. And if there's anything I can help you guys with, well, then just write it in the comments and we'll bring it up as subject matter in the future shows. Tomorrow's the last show of the week. So if there's something specific that you want me to talk about tomorrow, then write it in the comments and share this out when we come on at 1 o'clock, and we can have, a really good talk and discussion about anything that you would like associated with this. There's a lot of pain and suffering out there. We're all going through it, me too. And if there's anything I can contribute to the well-being of you and any others, then that will be wonderful. Karen shared out to 15 groups, Scotland. Yeah, I mean, come on. Must be freezing up there right at the moment. And Joyce is saying that she appreciates the support. So, yeah, share it out. Kareen's got it for 15 groups. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for everybody that's contributing. Your contribution is a contribution to general society to try and get this out and help people. It's all about helping each other right now. It's really got to, it's an emergency basis, basically, and that's the way I look at it. And my value in life is to help as many people as possible and to use what I've been taught. I'm not making any of this up. Okay, so don't think that this is Dov making stuff up, or, I'm not creating even original content here. I'm just using what I've been taught, mixed with my own experience, mixed with the way the mentors have mentored me, and put it together in order to make it palatable for people to, for ease of use, and to be able to practice this on a common basis. That's what's really, really important. So Karen's coming in saying that, yeah, it's very snowy. Yeah. I remember what that was like in Scotland. Tanya's saying that she finds it amazing and it's helping her with her anger and not trying to react. And that's important. Really, really important what you just said there, Tanya, because it's all about our response. We can't control anger. We can't control our emotions, but we can control how we respond to them. So we don't have to go out acting as if on our anger. We don't have to act on our emotions. We can choose how we want to act out. We can choose how we want to respond in our behavior, and learn through what we're learning here how to surf that, how to be willing to get through these emotions of anger and disappointment and disgust and shame and all these other uncomfortable and painful emotions that we sometimes go through, that irritability in our body and our thoughts coming in and trying to bully us. We learn how to surf that, because eventually that will pass. But at the same time, we learn how to respond to all that in a healthy way, in a way that will benefit us, in a way that we can still act out and live according to what's important to us with the people that are important to us, right? That's what it's all about. And Karen says quite rightly, learn to respond differently. It's really important. That's what it's all about. I'm the same boat. So I've been learning now for 10 years how to respond differently. Before that, I was responding in an unhealthy way. I was responding in a way that I wasn't getting in contact with my emotions and my thoughts. I was just became a workaholic, and that was all that was interested for me. And there's a price to pay for that. So the more that we can actually respond differently, as Karen says, the more that we can actually have a higher quality life. Yeah. And as Tanya says, there's the feeling of fear. And the feeling of fear is something that we need to learn to respond differently to, because we have to know what that intelligence is. What is it telling us we're fearful of? Maybe there's things outside that we need to change. Maybe there's things in our world that we need to change. But also, if it's just a constant chronic fear, then we need to learn how to be willing to experience that. So yeah, Tanya, I can understand that anger can scare us, right? And doing these exercises that you're learning here, this will help us regulate those emotions, get into touch with these, be willing to experience them. And that's why it's really important to practice these guided imagery, meditative, mindful exercises that I'm trying to teach everybody here, because this will help us regulate it. And Joyce is right. Whatever skills that we can do, whether it's DBT, whether it's ACT, whether it's whatever it is, even if all you do is come in and do these regular exercises that we're doing here on Triumph over Lockdown, using a T.R.I.U.M.P. system of getting in touch with these inner events that we have, then we can actually have a higher quality of life and get through the day and understand what's important for me to actually do today, who is important, what's important, and do little actions that will help us raise the quality of our life, give it a little bit of purpose and meaning, and we can turn our lives around. We can really turn them around, even in the times of pandemic. So, 1 o'clock, Monday to Thursday. Tomorrow, let's do a really bumper one. Let's try and get as many people in here as possible, because by you inviting people in here, you're also doing your bit to help nurture a caring society. So I really appreciate all the time that you're giving, and that you're coming in here and you're beginning to contribute and beginning to be part of this community. And that is really what it's all about. And that is what we can do to help each other. And radical acceptance and anything that we can do to actually help us get through this is what's really important. So thank you, Joyce and Tanya and everyone else who's been coming in. Karen and Jack was in earlier. I'm not sure if he's still here. So it's great to see all you people here. So just let's tomorrow at 1 o'clock get a really bumper amount of people, so that we can, really give a good show to the end of the week, get us through the weekend. Keep writing in the comments. Let me know what you want to do tomorrow. In the meantime, have a wonderful day.
Into the fourth dimension.
Disclaimer, this show is not therapy, nor a replacement for therapy. Should you wish to inquire about therapy, counseling, life, or executive coaching, please contact Dov Benyaacov-Kurtzman at factcpfa@gmail.com, factcpfa@gmail.com. Dov Benyaacov-Kurtzman is a highly experienced psychotherapist, executive business coach, and author of the book, Mind Over Terror, 3 weeks, 2 cities, 1 mission. With over 10,000 hours of experience and academic degrees in government, law, clinical social work, and a postgraduate diploma in psychiatry with distinction, Dov has the background to help you. He's also available for public speaking and corporate training.